Chris, just in the games, in the season, most important moment to get it, such a complete effort from your guys. Just what did you think as you digest a little bit of that here?
Yeah, I mean, defense was phenomenal. We executed everything we talked about doing. I thought Nikhil did a great job setting the tone on Shai. You know, he's a really tough cover, but we were closing all the spaces around him, and we did a good job of just kind of like never letting him really get into a rhythm other than in that third. And then I thought offensively, we also did a good job. Played pretty intelligent offense. It was nice not to give back a lead, which we've done quite a bit. But yeah, the guys were super locked in, and they knew what it was going to take to win this game, and they went out and did it.
Karl said this morning that you wanted to exploit the mismatches that you had out there to go big the way that you did and see both him and Rudy come through. That's the vision really for what you guys can do at your best.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they did a good job of, Kyle in there too, playing big to big a lot, figuring out their doubles, pounding them on the glass, just kind of throwing some lobs over top. But really, the guards did a really good job of like driving and making the right pass most of the night. Ant was really good, aggressive, turning corners, putting the defense on their heels where they had to commit, and kind of open up the game offensively with a lot of his kickouts early. And Mike is just a stud. Just super smart out there, and he's made all the right plays.
Obviously, Nikhil in the starting lineup was huge. Like, how did you come to the decision, and then just like, what did you see from him all night?
Quite honestly, it was something that Tim Conley said, "Hey, here's a wild one. What do you think?" And I was like, "Makes a lot of sense." I hadn't even really started thinking a lot about that type of stuff. Just with his length, his defensive prowess, like obviously has corporate knowledge, that allowed us to lengthen our rotation as well. I mean, not that we did, but if we wanted to, and it kept Ant out of early foul trouble. We thought Ant would move over and guard him more, but then Nikhil did such a wonderful job. And then the zone kind of finished it off.
Is that some of the best offense you've seen this year with like Karl, Rudy, everybody kind of in there in the starting five?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously we had size advantages, so it made it easy kind of to find some of that. But I thought we spaced well. I thought we spaced better than we had done with some of those lineups, particularly those two big lineups. Cat did a really good job of paying attention to his spacing. Did a good job of making the simple play when he was doubled. He did a good job of being aggressive, at the right times, and like he kind of in the third quarter got those and ones on those drives and got a couple big putbacks, and so yeah, I think it could be a little bit of a blueprint, but every defense you play is a little different, so.
This looked like one of the more complete 48-minute showings tonight. Is it kind of the ultimate litmus test for this team now to try to carry that forward into a 7-game series and bring it again and again and again?
Yeah, absolutely. Every series, takes on a life of its own. We're going to have to find ways to get more guys into our rotation. But we certainly went with who we felt was going to get it done tonight. But yeah, we're going to need some guys to step up. Try to add to what we're doing.
You have obviously been around Nikhil for a little bit longer than a lot of guys. How have you seen him grow just from when you first had him until now to be able to have an assignment like this in such a game? Yeah,
I'm really proud of and happy for him to come out and be able to play a game like this. I think, someone said, I think he's had like 5 coaches in his career so far, something like that. And it's always tough for a young guy. You come into the league with a vision of who you are and how you want to play and make your mark on the league. And it doesn't always unfold for you like that, certainly not right away. I think he's at peace with now who he is as a player. He plays to his strengths a lot more. He doesn't try to do too much, which, he did as a young player just because he was so eager. And his defense, as you saw tonight, has grown. I thought, like most young players, when we had him as a rookie, he was a defensive liability. Game was moving fast. He was trying to catch up, but he's really added a defensive intelligence and competitiveness to his game, and that is really going to carry him a long way because he's a smart player. You saw he made a few timely cuts, finished well. Took good shots, gives us another handler out there. Yeah, I'm just really, really pleased for him. So.
Chris, you've talked throughout this season about the identity of this team kind of evolving over the course of the season. How would you describe what the identity of the team is today?
Well, we thought we were getting there when we had when Nas went down. We talk a lot about if we want to be a big team, we got to do the things that big teams do. We got to be physical around the paint. We got to get the offensive glass. We got to try to punish them down inside when they go smaller. I think we're doing a better job of that. We're doing a better job of that. I think we still have things to figure out. And like I said, every defense is a bit different. But guys like Ant and Kyle in particular, those guys they've been playing in like various evolutions of our team. Like, so the rhythm for them has changed in time and time again. But they've, really, really pleased with how Ant kind of keeps just figuring it out alongside of it too. So.
Chris, you called Conley a stud.
Yeah.
What does his intelligence and just kind of calmness out there do for everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, it does a lot for me. I know that. It's just that type. It's that composure. It's you can give him the ball. You're going to get into something. You're going to get a good decision. His aggressiveness to score the ball has been exactly what we need. His ability to draw fouls and create. He's been in so many games. I was thinking, I guess today or yesterday, I was like, wow, what a shame if we weren't able to make the playoffs. I mean, I think Mike's probably been in the playoffs almost every year in his career. And Rudy for a long, long time too. So, but that works both ways. He's also helped us deliver this opportunity too.
Can you just talk about the difficulty of such a quick turnaround now? You got to go play in 2 days in Denver. What's the key to kind of getting the team to get past this and get ready for the next one? And maybe some initial thoughts on the matchup in this that's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've already started working on Denver as you do. From a coaching staff, you prepare for these things. Multiple teams. You just never know how it's going to work out. We'll start imparting that to the team tomorrow. Certainly let them know, what the highlights are. I don't think we can overcomplicate anything right now. And we just, be ready to go and try to get back physically. One advantage I think of playing in these games is that you're pretty battle ready. You're pretty battle ready. So I think our competitive edge will be there for sure. So.
You talked about different evolutions this team has gone through the various changes. What types of evolution have happened to get Cat integrated as well as he has been on defense coming back?
I think some of it's finding the right matchup. I think his activity's been really, really good. He's I think has a better understanding. We have a better understanding of like the things we want him to switch out of or into. Stuff that we just really kind of were trying to figure out early in the season. Now we're a little bit better at all that stuff. I think we've simplified a lot of our defenses regardless of who's in there. And that has given us another, a chance to kind of get all on the same page quicker. So.
Over the course of this season with Karl and Rudy, what have you learned at this point in trying to make that work, especially on the offensive end of the floor, that maybe you didn't back in October or November?
Well, they continue to really like to play with each other, and you just got to I got to call more stuff that activates that partnership from time to time. And I think the other thing is like post spacing and doubling, I think Rudy had a bunch where he get right to the front of the rim and Cat can find him and just keep it simple. And, that was a dynamic we didn't necessarily have last year. We'd have to play to the perimeter and then move it again and drive it again. But now he can just kind of play big to big.
Chris, can you speak to what it means for this franchise to get to the playoffs back-to-back years for the first time in 19 years?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly happy and proud. The season was a tough one in a lot of ways. We're happy for the fans. We're happy for our organization. We felt all season we were a playoff team, no matter what the circumstances were. Very pleased that the guys continue to fight through everything. really kind of never let go of the rope. You know, and we want to try to build something up here, and it's, you know, starts with consistently playing, you know, for the most meaningful games, and those happen to be in the playoffs. It's good for our young players still to keep going through this. You know, every time you get to the playoffs, it's a learning experience. The defenses that you're going to feast, the game planning gets to another level. So all that stuff is invaluable. And, you know, and for the franchise, like, hey, man, like, super excited to be here. Always have been. I don't really know what's gone on the previous 20 years, but, you know, these guys here are very happy and proud to represent this organization.
Chris, you guys have turned to that empty side pick and roll with Mike and Rudy, and you talked earlier about guards being able to turn the corner and get that to the baseline. We saw that Cat got that and one from Nikhil off of that action.
Yeah.
Just how important is that, like you were talking about, just to be able to activate kind of everything and get everybody in that flow?
Yeah, you know, when you have a guy certainly like Rudy rolling on a side, cleared side like that, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. I mean, those guys, I mean, we just, you know, stole that from Utah. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel here, but yeah, we just stole that from Utah. That's an action that was probably one of their most efficient ones, and they have a natural chemistry at it, you know. And now we're, you know, with Cat back, we're doing it more and more with different combinations of guys. It gives us different things. So.
Chris, does altitude make going deeper than 8 even more necessary? And one other question, what do you think of Conley to Cat to Gobert, that hoop?
I mean, sure. I mean, I think we're going to have to lengthen our rotation regardless of altitude or not, you know. So, and then, you know, the play you referenced, you know, when Mike first picked it up and threw it, I was like, what the hell are you doing? And then I thought Cat was going to shoot it. And then when I saw that he passed it, I saw Rudy was on the other end. So it was obviously a great play. You know, trust Mike.
Chris, Rudy looked pretty good for a guy playing with a tight back. When did you get the sense that he was going to be able to go, and did you notice him laboring at any point in the game tonight?
No, he said he felt good after his workout, you know, and then I tried to get, you know, I wanted him to get short stints in the first half, and so he wouldn't sit for a long time. And then, he said in the second half, just play me until you have to take me out, just because he wanted to stay loose when you got loose, you know. So, yeah, no, I thought he did a great job of carrying any kind of back issue.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Yep.
Mark, just great test of physicality and size for your team tonight. What did you see throughout the course of the game that allowed them to kind of take charge there?
Yeah, I mean, credit Minnesota, I thought, from the jump and throughout the game, they were just the better team tonight. And it's a one-game series, and in a one-game series, that's how it works. So a lot of credit to them. Obviously didn't throw our best punch tonight. The other night, was pretty close to our best punch on both ends of the floor. Tonight we had some regression, and this is all part of the deal. You see where your highs are, you see where your lows are, and you learn from each of them, and you just keep using all those experiences to get better, and that's what we have to do.
Obviously, scary moment when Shai went down. Do you know what needed to be done to help him get back on the floor, and what did you think about him being able to get back out there so quickly?
I wasn't back here. I mean, he had a laceration under his eye, which was a little ugly, and I think chipped a tooth. So he was a little banged up, but he was out pretty quickly. A couple minutes, we were able to get him back in.
And then just you started your season here in Minnesota, you finish it here, but your team is so transformed. Can you just maybe assess how you think that this team has grown and the approach that it's taken throughout the year?
I mean, it wasn't linear. It's never linear. There's always ups and downs. Like I said, there's always regression, and then there's new breakthroughs, and we had both of those this season. And we're certainly proud, but we also understand we have a lot of work to do. No one knows that more than us, and we got to get to work this summer now with the off season coming up.
with these last two games in particular, with this being such new experiences, what do you want your guys to kind of take away from these past couple games?
Well, you don't know it till you feel it. Some of our guys have felt it before, but some of our guys haven't. And I think the last two games gave us a really good range of what we're capable of from a positive standpoint and a negative one. And I think you can learn from both. I think this game tonight should give us some humility and understand like I said, we got to roll our sleeves up and get to work. We are far from a finished product as a team. And the other night should give us a lot of confidence in what we're capable of when we're on point on both ends of the floor. And so good lessons as we head into the offseason.
Mark, I think it was a surprise to most that Nikhil started for them. He got the assignment on Shai. Was that something you guys expected at all, or a bit of a curveball in this one?
Unexpected. We were expecting maybe them moving Prince back to the bench. We didn't think it would be Nikhil, but he played a good game. They played a good game. I don't think it was one factor. I just thought they were a much sharper team, more physical team in the first half, played with more of a sense of purpose than we did tonight.
And, obviously was dealing with the eye injury, but just before and after that, Shai wasn't his usual efficient self tonight. What would you see from his game?
I thought he missed some easy ones that he usually gets, and there's nights like that. I thought when he came back from the injury, he kind of kept us afloat there in the third. We were trying to make a little noise and it got our offense going a little bit. He was getting to the line. Right when we kind of got our offense back in a good place, defensively we had a really hard time with them in the third quarter. So just couldn't quite put it together on both ends tonight.
The trouble around the rim, not just for Shai, was that just missing some that you guys usually make, or was it kind of their interior defense?
Probably a little bit of both. You can't underestimate their interior defense as a huge factor, which is why you got to have great intentionality with how you attack. And I just thought nobody's fault, but our intentionality, especially in the first half, just wasn't where it needed to be on the offensive end, and I thought that yielded some tough plays as well.
Yeah, said that you wanted the team to be in these positions the last couple of games. So what'd you learn, or not a couple of games, the last couple of weeks? What'd you learn from the team over that span?
We learned a lot. The team's disappointed. We're disappointed that the season's over. We're disappointed in how we played. But at the same time, we've set a high enough bar to be disappointed at this time of year. And that's, this is where you want to be. You want to be in these environments. You want to be playing these types of games. You have to earn playing in these games, and you have to earn winning these games. And, we've learned a lot about the team, individual guys. We've learned a lot about the team collectively. I told the team after the game, we've passed a lot of tests this season, and we should be proud of that. But we haven't built our muscle up quite enough, to be where we want to be. And like I said, we've got to get our sleeves rolled up and get to work and look in the mirror and understand we have a lot of work to do. We're far from a finished product as a team.
Anyone else? Was youth an issue tonight against their experience with Conley and Gobert and Towns? Those guys have been there and done that.
I don't know. It's hard to, pin down. I think, the other night, like I said, I think these two games have given us a really good range of all the possibilities of our team. The other night showed us a really, really good version of ourselves and what we're capable of, and understanding how to tap into that and how to get to that as a team. And tonight showed us, that's not a given, and you have to go earn it, and you've got to get back to zero, and you've got to go build that again and go earn it again. And I think, the contrast of those two games as we head into the offseason is a good, tangible for our team, and hopefully something we can learn from as we carry forward.
Anyone else? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Mike, it's been a lot of ups and downs over these last couple months. Just what does it mean, or how did you feel seeing this team summon maybe its best game when you needed it the most?
You just feel a sense of, pride in what we were able to accomplish tonight, and proud of the guys for bouncing back. LA game was not an easy one to walk away from and feel good about, and for us to come back and, be able to flush that and concentrated on OKC and really did it on an unselfish defensive, high intensity level. Just it was a game that really showed us what we can be when we play the right way and play with the right energy, and just a positive game overall.
It seemed like this was obviously one where you had to exploit the size mismatch, and did you see just Cat and Rudy really kind of bring that energy and that and turn that into the mismatch that you needed it to be?
Yeah, exactly. And we knew going in, they like to play small. They like to kind of space you out and drive. And on the other end, we knew that we had to, take advantage of that when they were going to play small. Rudy was a beast at the rim. Cat being in the post. Them getting on the offensive glass was huge. Keeping extra possessions and that stuff. We looked at the film and said we had to attack at that. And next game might be different, but tonight that was the game plan.
You've known Nikhil for a while now. Just what did he provide you getting into that starting lineup and the defense and just seeing him, I guess, grow with the more responsibility that he's getting here?
Nikhil, he's one of the hardest working guys I know. Honestly, doesn't leave the gym. He'd been probably waiting for this opportunity a long time, playing against his cousin, family members. They compete, and he was texting us the night they were playing New Orleans and talking about what guys like to do and don't do. And so he was really locked in for the last few days. And just to see him go out there and perform at the way he did, he was huge for us tonight, especially, without Jaden, Nas. He was huge.
Mike, certainly some things will be different, more challenging, just different schemes for Denver versus tonight. But what is the key to bottling just in general, like you said, the effort, the way you played, and carrying that out over a course of a 7-game series?
With our team, we have a lot of youth. We have a lot of athleticism. We have a lot of guys who are versatile. And in order to use that, we have to play with a certain level of intensity, a certain level of urgency. In the midst of that, we got to be smart. We got to continue to learn from our mistakes, learn from film, because that's our next level of growth. We've always been able to scrap and be, get in the passing lanes and do different things, but can we manipulate the game when the time needs to be made? Can we, cut for each other? Can we make the game easy for each other? We're going to need all that against Denver. They've been playing so well all year long and have some of the best players in the league. So I'm confident that we'll go out there and give everything we got, and hopefully we'll get better game by game.
What did you think in a big spot tonight with a lot of pressure and in Cat's ability to stay within themselves kind of throughout?
That's huge. I think a lot of the common theme for them two is just trusting each other, trusting the team. They're so dynamic. They create a lot of space for guys, a lot of opportunities for guys, and they got to make plays. And they're going to be, predominantly the ball's going to be in their hands, and they can't get tunnel vision, even if, they haven't taken a shot in the last 2 minutes. Like, continue to play the right way. It'll find you again, and that's what happened tonight, and we can play through both those guys at different times.
Mike, in that Sacramento game a couple weeks ago, if you think back, you guys really kept running the empty side pick and roll, and you got to the baseline, we hit the corner, and the ball would just really get moving, and you guys utilized that, a little bit again tonight. Just how important has that action been as kind of a play that you can rely on when things are getting a little sticky to kind of kickstart everything and get it going like it was tonight?
It's a play, honestly. I think everybody's kind of adopted it now, but Rudy and I have used it over the last 3 or 4 seasons together, and it's been pretty successful in, getting into the paint, being able to get the ball moving, kind of just jumpstarting our offense, and it gives us a little bit of pace to what we do. And like I said, we're just so confident in it that we know we're going to get something good. And hopefully, we just continue to run it, continue to realize that play has some, value to it as far as guys cutting on the weak side, guys being open in the corner. And guys are always ready and confident to knock down the shots when they get the opportunity.
Mike, what did you think about the way Rudy played, knowing he has got that back injury and stuff?
I don't even think he has a back injury. Not by the way he played tonight. But it was impressive. He's a guy that he doesn't miss many games, and if he does, it's a big deal. He's pretty hurt. So proud of him going out there and competing tonight, regardless of how he felt. He really set the tempo for us, set the stage for us, and his presence, just being in the paint, just being on the floor, does a lot for our team. We build a lot around him, and without him, we have to be a different team. So just happy he was out there.
Mike, what does it mean to be able to come in here kind of midstream with this team and be able to help it get into the playoffs and have that chance with a new team to be in the postseason?
Man, I'm just super excited. You know, I came into this thing a few months ago just, you know, trying to fit in as best I can, trying to continue the success that they were already having, and just to be a part of a franchise that's moving forward and constantly getting better. I think this is the second year in a row making the playoffs, and to be a part of this opportunity is huge for me. Later in my career, to still be competing, get to compete at the highest level again, and this is an exciting time of year. I did not want to go home today, so I'm super excited about it.
Finch said he wasn't sure what you were doing when you threw that baseball pass to the Towns. Take us through that play and kind of what was going through your mind when you were doing it.
As soon as I got the ball, I looked up the court. I knew that, you know, they probably had like 4 or 5 guys jump over half court because they thought they were about to get a layup. I looked up and I saw Rudy and Cat. I looked at Rudy first and I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna throw that one. And I looked at Cat and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna throw it to that guy. And I knew he'd make the right decision, and just slung it down there, and you just gotta pray and see what happens.
Mike, you're a guy, you've had a lot of success early against 1 seeds with the Grizzlies. Now you said you came in a couple months ago trying to fit in with the team, but did they kind of lean on you now with this wisdom going against this Denver team?
Yeah, you know, I told them a few days ago about, you know, when I played the Spurs when we were 8th seed and they were 1, and that you can do it. Like, don't go in here and thinking that it's you know, just gonna, you know, never happen. Like, it doesn't. It happens. Like, I was a part of it. And going in, you have to have the mindset that you gotta beat them to win. Like, you can't rely on things to fall your way. You can't rely on them to miss shots when they're open. Like, you have to go get it to win it. And that's kind of like the mindset right now, is that we gotta you know, beat them every facet of the game if we want to have a chance. But it is possible.
You're in season 16 now. Is there any way you've learned to ingrain maturity into a young team? Is it always the same? Is every team different? And what have you found is most successful in terms of having that happen?
Man, honestly, just time, man. You can't really teach, you know, maturity. You can only lead by example in that category. You know, I come in and do my work early, show them, you know, how, you know, you're supposed to carry yourself on and off the court, taking care of your body, like what you eat, how much you watch film, like studying the game, like all that. I try to just let that trickle off on each one of those guys, and eventually it becomes a habit for all of them. Like, I had Shane Battier as a vet for a year in Memphis, and he had me looking at the stat sheet, not a stat sheet, but the pregame sheets, and asking me questions and quizzing me before games, and who are the 3 refs we have tonight? Like, what are their names? What number? I'm like, man, I guess this is how it is, you know, like what vets do and guys who've won championships. Like, that's the kind of attention to detail you got to have. You can't just go home and play video games. Like, this is the time to do a little extra work.
Just real quick, as a veteran, how do you get a young team kind of ready for this? It was such a short turnaround against such a, you know, well-rounded team. I mean, what can you do to kind of help them get ready for this?
You know, honestly, sometimes it's easier to just go in there after, you know, we're not gonna have much time to prepare. They've had a week. You know, we're gonna come in off a couple games and just, you know, ride the momentum that we have. You know, not to overthink anything. You know, because the moment can be a little bit, you know, stressful with all the, oh man, yeah, shooting the lights out. But the moment can be stressful for a lot of people. But just to, you know, continue to understand that, you know, we go out there, play our game, not be, you know, somebody that we're not. You know, guys play within themselves, play within your role. That it gives us our best chance of winning.
What's good?
He said not to do that. Watch some film.
I'm gonna lie to you. I'm playing right now and right after this. And put me on blast real quick.
Karl, just this team has been through a lot this season. You as well, personally. I mean, just what does it mean to kind of summon maybe the best effort that you guys have given all season when you needed it most, and to get back into the playoffs for a second year?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was a great team win, and we did a great job playing together and executing the game plan. But, you know, also shout out to the fans, you know, sell out. They really came and affected the game. They gave us a lot of energy, and they really supported us. So I want to just give them some love because they really showed a lot of love tonight.
Is this kind of what you and Rudy envision your pairing to be, and the way that you guys were able to control that game, and how did that come together tonight?
I've said it before. I just think that we could do a better job of using what our advantage is, which is our size. And I think tonight you saw us really do that at a high level. We utilized our size. We did a great job putting pressure in the paint and just doing what we do best. So Rudy was fantastic. He did a lot for us and really imposed his presence in the paint.
And finally, just with Nikhil going into the starting lineup.
X factor. He's the reason we won. He went out there and had a very, very tough job tonight to guard Shai, who's been fantastic this whole year and one of the best scorers in the league. And to go out there and do what he did is the reason we won. There's no other way to put it. You know, we could talk about everyone down the list who had big numbers and stuff, but Keel did the job. He was the one who took us to the finish line and got us there. So shout out to him.
Karl, given everything you've been through in this franchise, all the years of losing, what is it like to be going back to the playoffs for a second consecutive season?
No, it feels great. It feels great. You know, this is what you envision when you're getting drafted. Just wanting to play in the playoffs and give ourselves a chance every year to play winning basketball. So super happy that, you know, we get to do this again. And 2 years in a row, like Coach Finch, I think, told us in the locker room, it hasn't been done since 2003. So it's really, really cool to be able to put Minnesota back where they belong and give the fans the chance to watch playoff basketball.
Nikhil, too, on offensively. We've seen quite a few times, like when you're in the post, he's one of the guys cutting, creating more opportunities. How much easier does that just make offense, like when you have it, when other guys are really moving and giving you different options?
Yeah, I mean, cuts are always great. You know, I'm a very willing passer out the post, so those cuts really affect the game. It gives me a chance to, you know, utilize the gravity I pull, you know, with having two people come to double me. They came from the low side trying to double me and allowed Rudy to come over, and then someone had to guard Rudy, and there goes a guard going down the middle, not being touched and being able to give me a lane and a chance to pass on the ball. So Kill does an amazing job of cutting and giving me outlets when I can't get the first, you know, go quick off the post. It gives us a chance also to move the ball, you know, put some energy into basketball and not just have it be in one person's hand scoring.
And then usually, you know, 8-1 matchups don't go great for the 8 seed, but you guys don't really seem to have like an 8 seed roster. So what is the level of confidence heading into?
For sure. I mean, we should have confidence in anything we do. You know, we're a team that's in the playoffs. We feel we know what the work we put in all year, all the adversity we went through, everything we went through. So there's no reason to step on a court and feel like an 8 seed. You don't have 8 seed confidence and stuff. Like anytime you step on the court, you should be feeling like you have a chance to win, and you know you're the best team on the court. So we're gonna go there, go to Denver, game 1, give our best shot, and hopefully come out with a win.
Karl, going back to the summer and knowing that this is what the identity was going to have to be, right? This big identity. It's been bumpier. It hasn't been as seamless as maybe you thought it was going to be. But does it feel now that you've stacked up enough stuff, even just over these past couple weeks, that you feel confident in this identity of being a big and physical team that can really make an impact here?
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt confident in our team. If I didn't feel confident, I wouldn't be acting and talking away. I would be a little more timid. But I feel very confident in our team since day one. I think that we have great guys in that locker room. Before we step on the court, to just see the character of everyone in that locker room, the professionalism, I knew we could be great. It's going to take time. It's not something you just walk in, everything works. So, we just kept trusting the process of trusting each other and getting to know each other. And obviously it was much harder than, like you said, than we thought with everyone getting hurt. I got hurt for most of the year. So many things happening. So trades, so it's obviously it was a lot of moving parts, but to see the product we have tonight after everything, and I think it's a testament to our coaching staff who has, kept everyone gelled and glued together and understanding what we could be and always presenting the identity and the vision that they had for us. So shout out to the coaching staff for making it all happen.
And then outside of Nikhil defensively, what did the other 4 surrounding players do really well defensively in this matchup?
Like the starters? I mean, I think that everyone did I think everyone did a great job. You know, they shot 36%, 32% from three. So obviously we did a great job. I'm just happy that we got the result because, you know, we did a great job defensively last game and we didn't come out with the result we wanted. So it's good to see that, you know, being disappointed last game, not coming out with the win that you want and you felt you deserved to come out tonight and, you know, double down and play great defense again. And it just speaks volumes to this team's fight. And, you know, the identity, like you said, we're building. You know, we're able to understand who we are, and we're just trying to go out there and play the best to our identity and do what we do best.
To play off of that, it has been a disjointed season with a lot of ins and outs and different evolutions.
To say the least.
And so, as you were watching on the sidelines and you had talked about, you know, seeing things and discovering things and how you could fit in, defensively, the transition has seemed to be becoming smoother than it did earlier. What are some of the things that you were watching or suspected that would make things go the flow a little smoother?
I think for me, just watching from the sideline, just knowing when I came back, just to impact rebounding more. You know, I think that one of the things when I was watching is that we gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. Even tonight, we gave up some that I feel the fans recognize and they let us know about it. But we just want to impact rebounding a little more, but understanding where to do it, you know, because usually I'm the 5, so I'm already in the paint. I'm able to already know the ball is going to come near me. I could try to get the rebound, but when you're the 4, you know, I'm usually closing out on a three-pointer or something's happening when I'm not in the paint. So understanding when I could go in the paint or when I need to start creating opportunities for offense, or even when we're on offense. Tonight I took some chances. That it's not something we do, but, you know, going from the top of the key, going for a rebound, got a putback dunk in the fourth quarter. That's not something that we teach, but something I went for. But just understanding when I could take those chances and stuff like that. And defensively, just knowing that I got to stay solid, you know, seeing how Rudy works. You know, I never really got a chance to play with Rudy that much, so just understanding how Rudy works when he's defensively, if he's going to drop it, what's his natural instincts to do, what he's going to do when we're on transition and stuff. Just understanding that better, so when I'm in the game and we're having, you know, they're on a transition break, I know that maybe I don't have to run to the paint, just run to someone at the three-point line and try to impact the ball from there and then kind of funnel them to Rudy. Or when we're in a situation where I'm in the gap and I know Rudy's behind me, just stay solid going to the three-pointer. And let Rudy take care of the drive coming to the basket. So stuff like that, you know, you see from the sideline. Sometimes when you're in the game, you're not realizing. It's also, you know, for me, I've been a 5 my whole career. So I'm thinking sometimes when they're making that drive, I got to go block the shot. But when you have a generational defensive player like Rudy, you don't have to go. So just understanding to let Rudy be Rudy. And I have to adjust my game defensively and offensively to utilize him best.
Karl, even though he's only been here a couple months, right here, Karl, even though he's only been here a couple months, what type of impact has Mike Conley made in your guys' locker room? How much do you pick his brain up for a guy who's been in the league just so long?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, his experience speaks volumes, and it helps us tremendously in a lot of situations. So, you know, just the poise he brings to our, you know, our team. You know, when you're the point guard and you have that kind of poise, obviously everyone feels a little more relaxed, and you know, just the experience he brings too. You know, so. And that comes from the experience, the way he acts with the ball and treats the ball and how he treats the team and everything. I just think that, you know, he's very valuable to us as a vet, as a leader, as our point guard. You know, it's great that the point guard has the most experience of all of us on the team. So the person who has the ball most, we feel very comfortable with, and he's just been great. And obviously we've expanded his offensive game. I think he's being more aggressive than he has in a couple of years. So we've just been utilizing his offense.
And when you're playing Call of Duty with Ann, are you playing multiplayer or Warzone? Out of curiosity.
Warzone. I've been trying to get him to play multiplayer. He doesn't seem to be that kind of guy.
What's your loadout drop?
Huh?
What's your loadout drop?
Mine. I've been using the STB gun, and I think Amp's been using the Vel 46 or something. I don't know. Recently, he's been stealing my gun and telling me to. Ant's the only person I know that plays Call of Duty and robs me in the game. I don't know how that works out. He's on the mic the whole time. He's like, "Give me your money." I'm like, "Bro, I'm on your team. What are you talking about?" So.
Karl, it feels like, especially these last 3 games, but also since you've been back, that you've just had a really noticeable composure to how control you are of your game, but also of your emotions on the floor. Just how important is that second part in being able to achieve that first part?
Just I don't know. I just think it's growth. Like Brett said, I've been on the sideline a lot, and I'm just kind of seeing how our team is, and I think we're a little emotional a lot, so I don't want to add to it. So I'm just trying to keep a backseat to that. Just experience, growth, getting older. I don't know. I just feel like I'm just trying to do a better job of keeping the composure around everyone, especially, and I draw a lot of fouls, and then I also get a lot of fouls. I don't want to kind of add to the possibility of getting more fouls by just being erratic with everybody. So, if I have a point to make, just say it in a calm way or just talk to them in a way and then just get over it, go to the next play because, we don't have room for error, and I can't be out there trying to do different things that I feel will help, but it kind of hurts us at the same time. So just, I guess, just growth. Yep.
Jalen, just seemed like a ton of physicality from both teams from the very start of this game. What did this one feel like out there, and kind of how were they able to take control?
Yeah, you said it was very physical. I think they just kind of out-physicaled us kind of down the stretch. Thought we did a good job first half, kind of matching that. Second half, thought we got a little scared to foul, obviously, and then we kind of gave them some free ones towards the end, not being as physical, and they kind of took that and ran with it.
The paint had been a place that you guys were able to get to all year. Tonight, it just seemed like shots were rolling off the rim, or you weren't quite able to get some of those backdoor cuts and burns. Was that just their size down low, or did you feel something different out there?
We missed a lot of shots we usually make. That's just the nature of basketball. I thought we got really stagnant at times, which hurt us because then they would come back down and score. And, credit them, obviously capitalizing on that. But, yeah, we did miss a lot at the rim. I thought we got some good looks when we started moving the ball the second half. Just didn't go in. That's the nature of it. Playing on the road, just stuff like that happens.
You guys started your season here, ended your season here, but a totally transformed team from that time. Can you maybe just reflect on the growth that you guys have had since then?
I mean, for me, I can see. So, and then obviously Shai got the brunt of that today. But, we just, like you said, we're a completely different team. I think we're way more mature. Thought we played with each other really well a year. We were all kind of in the locker room talking about it, just, being projected to win, 17 to 20 games and being able to have 41 or whatever we had this year is kind of just testament to how hard we played all year. I think we made really good strides. And, just like for me personally, going through the whole season, being able to grow, and, that was like my biggest thing, was not really putting a lot of goals on myself, but just knowing that I didn't stay in the same place during the season. I thought I did a good job of that. And, we'll just kind of take the experience. Like I said, being the youngest team in the NBA, it's dope that we get to be in these playing games on the road and kind of learn how to play through adversity and grow in that way. So I think that'll serve us really well next year.
Just speaking of this playing experience, obviously a first for a lot of guys on the team. What, for you personally, what did you learn during these last 2 games, and as a group, what can you all take away from this?
I think how important it is to, be ready to play every game. Like I said, I thought we came out really well. Just trying to put together a full game, understanding, the task at hand when we're on the road. I think, some of that has to do with, understanding seeding and obviously having more wins under your belt to kind of get different plans. But, like I said, it's a hard thing to do, to play 2 plans, on the road and, kind of capitalize on that. But I think it's just a really good experience that we got to be in this as much as we did. And then for me, even college, I had 1 postseason game, ever. So for me to be able to have 2 my rookie year and be in the NBA and do that is, that definitely gonna help me grow. And I've learned a lot from that, and kind of anxious to get back out there and play. So,
Jalen, you went from starting Brandon Ingram and CJ the other night to being the primary guy on counts tonight. Like, two totally different matchups, and doing that as a rookie, like, what do you kind of take away from that experience, or what was it like just being thrown in there?
It's fun. It's exactly where I wanted to be. I think I said it like before I even got drafted, like kind of willing to guard anybody and whoever that is. I think my biggest thing all year was not getting too carried away with, who I'm matching up with, but just kind of understanding that people got to guard me on the other end. But like I said, it's fun to go out there and compete. It only makes you better going out there and playing against them every night. And to kind of like specifically more answer your question, when you're going from BI, who you want to kind of crowd and make it difficult, to Cat, who you try and get off the block as much as possible, it's fun. Just being physical. And I've been saying it all year. I think just competing really takes away a lot of any mistakes I make, or stuff like that. And like I said, the more range of people that I have to guard, I think it'll help me down the long run.
You got the highs and the lows of the playing game. Can you just talk about the overall experience for you and how it felt?
Oh, it was fun. There's not too many atmospheres like that, especially in the regular season, unless obviously it's like a rival game or something like that. So it's dope. I mean, the pregame is louder than what it usually is. Regular buckets that people really just clap on or screaming and jumping out their chair. You get to talk a little trash to the fans. So it's a dope experience. Yeah, it's super competitive and high level. You can be one mistake away, in the first quarter that can lose the game, and vice versa. So it's a dope experience. I'm happy that I got to be a part of it.
Anything else?
I think most people in the NBA know this is a franchise on the rise. You guys overachieved this year. With that said, with Chet coming in next year, how will you help out this team?
Yeah. Chet has a tremendously high ceiling. He's going to cover up a lot of mistakes at the rim defensively, and then offensively, he's so versatile. He'll fit right in with how we want to play. He'll be able to run with us. He'll be able to space the floor out. And like I said, he'll really be able to change the dynamic of our defense, at the rim. So I'm excited to get him back and, integrate him into that. And, yeah, he'll definitely cover up a lot of, stuff at the rim, and he's extremely talented offensively, which should just be another threat out there for us. So I'm looking forward to him coming back and being healthy. And I know he's anxious to play too. So
Thank you, Jalen.
Cool.
What's up, fellas?
Rudy, this has been a season full of ups and downs and trying to find your way. What did it feel like for this team to maybe deliver its best performance when you really needed it most tonight?
Feels great. Obviously when the season started, the goal was to be one of the best teams in the West and to make a deep run in the playoffs. Obviously with the mindset of going and try to win a championship, and build something special. And we had a lot of adversity, lots of ups and downs in a lot of ways, but to be able to still have a chance to, tonight have a chance to get in the playoffs and be the team that we believe that we can be. It was an amazing opportunity, and we did a great job, taking care of business tonight. Now we where we belong, where we want to be, and we're gonna play against a really good team. But I believe that in the West, from 1 to 8, every team is a really good team, and it's a good opportunity for us.
Were you and Karl particularly intentional tonight about just making sure you use your size to your advantage and exploit the mismatches that you had up front there?
I mean, we believe that every night is going to be mismatches, and even if it's not a mismatch, I think Cat can score against anybody in the post, and and I can dominate against anybody in the paint. So it's really it's really about us as a team understanding how to space for each other, how to understanding the momentum of the game, how to and Mike, how to use all the talent that we have and how to maximize that talent. And I thought that was that's probably the best games we had spacing for each other. I thought the times when Ant wasn't handling the ball, he did an amazing job spacing, and the time when Cat wasn't in action, he did an amazing job spacing, and that allowed everybody else to punish those defenses, because they bring so much attention, and I believe that's how you punish the defense. It's really tough to guard with the level of talent that we have, if we decide to, and if we learn how to space for each other.
The behind the back dribble and score there, is that going deeper into your bag a little bit?
I was back in my old days when I was playing the three. But I was 15, so I haven't done that for a while. It just came off instinct.
Rudy, how did your back feel, and did you get looser maybe as the game went on?
No, it did get worse as the game went on, but I was just happy that I was able to give the team enough of Rudy to help them, be a better team tonight. And I thought Sunday I wasn't able to. I thought Sunday I really wasn't able to move at all. But tonight, to be honest, yesterday I thought it was going to be tough to play because I wasn't happy with the way I was able to move. But I kept, convincing myself that I wanted to play. Also the MRI didn't showed a little more than I thought it was. So it was also that played a big part in it. But coach, training staff, my people around me, my chef, everyone is doing an amazing job. Just try to help me recover as good as I can. And thanks to them, I was able to play tonight.
Mike was part of a team, an 8th seed team that went out and beat a number 1 seed, I think 2011, the last time it was done. He said he's been talking to you guys about that and about the confidence he should have going into this. I mean, is it kind of neat to have somebody who's kind of done this before, able to kind of give you
Sure. I mean, Mike's experience is obviously, is huge, and is someone that is a winner. So, I didn't even know that he's done that before, but it just shows who he is as a player. But to be honest, I don't consider ourselves as an 8th seed. I mean, we are in the standings, but I don't consider ourselves as an 8th seed. And now it's like I said, it's an amazing opportunity for us to keep getting better as a team, and then it's a huge challenge for us. So it's an exciting opportunity, and we're not even looking at the standings anymore. We're looking at who is in front of us, and we believe that if we play the right way, there's not a team in this league that we cannot beat.
Kind of to piggyback off of that, you guys didn't have Cat the last time you guys played. Just talk about how you think it'll be different with having Cat in the lineup now to match up against Denver and Joker.
I mean, it's a lot different, offensively and defensively. I think Cat just brings a lot of trouble to the opposite defense. Just they have to find ways to. We're gonna see how they decide to guard him, and we have a pretty good idea, but we're gonna see, and then it's about understanding the matchups, understanding how we can take advantage of the way they decide to guard us. But definitely, having Cat and the things he does on the court is a huge upgrade for us.
What did you think of the job that Nikhil did tonight on Shai?
It was incredible. The guy hasn't started a game this year, and just in the most important game of the season, just starts and goes on and take that defensive challenge. And I thought it was contagious. I thought it really set the tone for everybody else. And Shai is such a unique, skilled player. He gave everybody so much trouble this year that I'm really proud of the way Nikhil brought it tonight.
You've been in the postseason several times, but now with the new team, what do you believe needs to change, if anything, in order to accommodate the pressures and the added stakes that come with playing in the postseason?
I think the attention to details, and when it comes to on the court, but especially off the court too, when it comes to recovery, preparation, distractions, all that stuff. I don't want to talk like I'm Mike Conley and I'm 45, but I've still seen a lot of things. I've been through a lot of things, and sometimes it's just one rebound that can change your whole season. Just one detail, one mistake, and obviously mistakes are part of the game. But details. Just whatever you need to do to be the best you can be. Cut off the distraction, and there's going to be adversity, and that's why I tell the guys there's going to be adversity. But the best teams are the teams that come together in adversity and they're able to overcome that. And there's not a team that's won a championship without a little bit of adversity. Every team, every in every sport actually, there's always adversity, and it's how you're gonna react to that when it comes.
Rudy, I think here locally, when the Timberwolves traded for you, a lot of people talked about the ways that Karl might be able to help you offensively, and probably understated the ways that you would be able to help him defensively. So how do you what are the biggest ways you've seen him grow as a defender since you got here, and how do you think you've helped him the most in becoming a better defender?
I think, and I tell this to Kat all the time, is first of all understanding the lineup. When I'm with him, it's a big difference when I'm with him on the court and when I'm not. When I'm not, he's the guy that has to hold it down in the paint, and it's a little bit of a different mindset, for him to have to go contest even more, has to go get those rebounds even more. Is the last resort of our defense when I'm not out there, right? And when I'm out there, he has to probably chase around shooters, especially in today's game and against 95% of the teams. He's going to have to chase shooters. He's going to have to be put in uncomfortable situations. Teams that try to take advantage of, the fact that we're playing big, right, and try to put him in screening off the ball situations, all that kind of stuff. And then for me, it's just really try to always anticipating those things, and then I'm trying to always give him a heads up on, that team's gonna try to, do this to you, I'll do that. And, I thought he's got a lot better since he came back from that injury, to just understanding that. And it's been paying off huge for us, and it's credit to him. I mean, it's not easy, when you play the same way for, I don't know how many years, 8 years, getting out of your comfort zone, and same offensively, he's used to being every action. And now I'm telling him that when I go set a pick and roll with Ant or Mike or anybody else, he has to learn how to space. And that's the difference for us being here, and that's how you maximize his talent. And I thought tonight he did a great job doing that too. So it's been amazing it's been fun to be able to help him grow and and hopefully accomplish some big things together.
Hey, Rudy, with you saying your back got worse, not better, as the game went on, I mean, what's the level of concern hopping on an airplane in a handful of hours and needing to play a basketball game in 44 hours?
I don't have any concern. I'm happy that we won the game, so it's the pain of losing is worse than the pain of the real pain sometimes, so I'm really happy that we won, and I don't think I injured it more, obviously it's a little sore, but I think it's better than it was, a few days ago. So it's still feeling okay, and I'm going to do some treatment and do whatever it takes to hopefully be ready Sunday. And then I know that it's a long series, so every day is going to be huge to be able to get back to 100%. Thank you.
Shai, just seemed like a super physical game, and they were kind of clogging the rim area. What did you feel out there in this one tonight?
Yeah,
I thought they brought the fight. They were the aggressors, for sure, for the most part of the game. And we had spurts. But yeah, I think they earned the win for sure.
Did you have to have stitches, or how did they fix you up in the back after you got hit in the eye?
Yeah, the blood kind of stopped. And then once it stopped, they said I should be good to go back out. And then I guess we'll reevaluate tomorrow when we go.
And then you guys started your season here, you end your season here, but kind of the team transformed in that time. You obviously had a transcendent season too. Can you just kind of put in perspective the growth that this team and organization has made in 7 months?
Yeah, we've gone a long way. And all 15 guys, or however many guys we have come a long way. And it's been fun. It's been really fun this year. We kind of turned the corner a little bit, I like to say. And I don't think we're satisfied either, so I'm excited for the future.
Shai, for most of these guys, it was their first experience in postseason basketball. Just how valuable for this young team for these last 2 games?
Yeah, it's what it's all about. It's the time of year everybody wants to win. Games matter the most. And you got to do certain things every night and be as consistent as you can to get wins and get results.
And 2 very different games. Just what did you guys kind of learn about yourselves in these past couple of games?
Yeah, that we're capable. And it's just about consistency and trying to put it together as many nights as we can.
Shai, I think it was a surprise to most of us that Nikhil was going to start for them tonight. What do you think of that, matchup, obviously going at it, but just kind of a cool thing for 2 cousins to go against each other?
Yeah, like you said, it's cool. It's something I'll never get used to. It's a great feeling. Seeing his growth and him seeing mine, it's special to be on the biggest stage playing against each other. Yeah, it's an indescribable feeling for sure, and he played well tonight, and I'm happy for him.
Did you have any idea that was coming at some point tonight?
That he was going to start?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew yesterday, yeah.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
What was that conversation like, if you could tell us?
Oh, it was nothing of it. There was no conversation. He kind of just told me.
And then Mark said you might have chipped a tooth.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I chipped 2 of them.
And last thing for me, just you guys as a team didn't finish as well around the rim as you usually do. How much was that just like shots you normally make rolling out versus the length they have inside?
I think a lot of it was the shots we normally make we didn't. I know for me it was that for sure. Yeah, we didn't have our best night tonight offensively. And they played well and with aggression. And that's a little bit why it got out of hand. But yeah, we didn't have it tonight. Obviously, it wasn't one of our better games, and they played well enough.
You guys got the highs and the lows of the tournament, and I know you have playoff experience yourself, but you just talk about the overall experience for you guys.
Yeah, it's been fun. You can feel the excitement. Obviously, every gym's packed. The fans are into it. Each team wants to win. Every possession matters. It's the most fun version of basketball.
Anybody else?